So today I'm going to show you our what we do in the mornings in the winter to take care of the mink. With it being freezing cold like this, it was down in the teens last night. So not bitter cold, but definitely cold. All their waters freeze up. So first thing we do is we make sure they get water. So I bring with me a bucket of hot water from the tap and a couple tools to help me break the ice. Got a hammer, and then I just use a little crowbar. I don't want to just use the crowbar because when you're in here trying to break the ice, the mink aren't very shy about it, and there's always a chance that you could like pinch their toe or their tail or their something else. So you don't want a chance hurting the mink. So what I do is I just put the crowbar down. I just use a hammer so I could put it flush on the ground, so there's very little chance the mink could get a toe under it. Just give it a little tap. Okay, so I just basically make them a hole big enough that they could get in there, go swimming, get a drink, whatever they want to do.
Who's this? Is this Bear?
This is Bear.
Yeah, he's ginormous.
So this is Bear. He's a big old boy. He's the biggest mink I have right now. He's about the same thickness as of his father. Same big head, same thick shoulders, but he's longer. So he's just a little bigger than his dad. Okay, so then I move on to the next cage. Now you'll see some mink actually keep the hole open in their ice. This is Mischief, and Mischief has worked the ice all night and kept the hole from freezing. So if it's not too cold or if the mink's really good at it, they'll actually keep their water open themselves. She just likes to swim enough that she's always going in and out, and it never totally freezes. And you see here, she kind of digs it when it starts to freeze to keep her hole open. So it's a little bit of a tight fit, so I'm not sure if she could fit in there yet still. It looks like she probably can, but I'm gonna give it a little tap. Make the hole a little bit bigger for her. There she goes. See, she can squeeze down that hole, which she probably could anyway, but I just made sure it was big enough. And they love to swim. People ask about the cold and if the cold bothers the mink. Well, this is how much the cold bothers the mink. They go swimming every chance they get. As soon as you break a hole in their ice, they're down there swimming in it. They've got nice, thick, mostly waterproof coats. So if you look how dry she looks, Mischief, come back up here. Mischief, you saw she was only wet for a minute. She's bone dry right now. There isn't a fleck of water on her, and she just went swimming just seconds ago. With a hole like this, where it's kind of, you see how she's splashed a lot of the water out? I pour some warm water in there, just kind of fill it up. So she's got more water, and the warmth will help melt a little bit of the ice and help keep the whole thing from becoming a frozen block. So you may notice I don't have any mink together anymore. They're all separated. The reason is breeding season just started. Well, it's about to start. And for about a month or so before breeding season, they started fighting and not getting along. So I separated all the mink. None of them are living together anymore. I'm hoping maybe after breeding season calms down, I might be able to put some back together, but we'll just have to see. So when it comes to cold, obviously mink aren't bothered by the cold. They pretty much enjoy it. They like swimming under the ice. They like playing in the snow. But they do need to have proper shelter. You can't just leave them out in a bear cage and expect them to do well. So they need to be able to get warm and dry and away from the wind and the weather. So what we have here, you see we got a little roof, temporary roof. We just put the board on top.
I don't like a mink.
Yeah, it's a mink. So they each have their own little nest box. It's obviously covered to keep them out of the wind, keep them out of the rain or snow. And they've got nice dry bedding. So we have to make sure that their bedding, this sawdust, stays dry and that they don't kick it out. So you have to check it periodically, just make sure it's in good condition. So other than that, that's pretty much all they need. they could live in sub-zero temperatures with this kind of setup and be just fine without any problems. Just gotta make sure the bed's good and dry and out of the wind, and they're good to go. Heat is more complicated for mink. You have to worry about them overheating or dehydrating. Oh yeah, her mouth's kind of, she's holding it open funny. She might have a bone caught. Oh yeah, she does. She's got a bone caught in it. So here's one weird thing. Totally didn't expect this. You got to keep an eye out. Sometimes a mink will get a chunk of bone caught in their teeth. And if you notice, Rio here is kind of holding her mouth open. And that's weird. Like, she shouldn't be holding her mouth open like that. Another thing that can show you is if they have any drool. Drool is a sign that there's something going on in their mouth. Okay. She's not gonna be too happy about this, so you gotta be careful. So I'm just gonna use a little piece of wood. You don't want to use anything metal, because if they bite it, they could break their teeth or hurt their mouth. So I'm just gonna use a little stick here that I pruned off a tree.
Daddy, what is a mink?
Uh-huh. Stay back, Olive. Stay back over here so you don't get bit. Stay here. Can you stand right there? Okay.
Ooh.
Rio.
She started.
I'll get another piece. Rio. Okay, I got her this time. So, if you look right here, you see that piece of bone caught in her teeth? We're just gonna use this little stick and push it out. Very carefully. Wow, it's wedged in there. Okay, I'll push it this way. Oh, there we go. So there we go, it's out. Ooh, what do you want that stick for? You think it's food? Silly girl. Here's your little silly girl. Should we go put you back? Oh, let's go put you back. That's one of the important things about being a good animal keeper. It's just being observant to the animals you're caring for. So yeah, Rio did a good job. Sometimes they get really mad when you're handling them like that, kind of manhandling them to fix a problem. But she's, you know, really sweet and trusting. She's a good little mink. So we had a few questions when we introduced our Minkland plans and our new property here. One of the biggest, most frequent questions was about the zoning of the property and was I going to have issues with the neighbors. So the big misconception you guys have is you're looking at the neighbors behind us. They're in a totally different neighborhood and have nothing to do with us. Their zoning laws are totally different than our zoning laws. Obviously, they have like no backyard. Their houses are smashed together. They can't do anything more than have a dog. Our property and everyone on our side of the fence are zoned for livestock. Several of our neighbors have large farm animals like horses, cows, goats, all kinds of stuff. And many of the neighbors who don't have farm animals have very large farm-like gardens. One neighbor in particular has a garden so big he straight up plows it with a full-size tractor. So it's very different from what you guys see looking at the neighbors back here. To give you an idea, our street is actually plowed by one of the neighbors with his tractor. The same one he used to plow and prepare his field for growing crops, he uses to go and shovel the whole street. So it's very different from what you guys are assuming. Just wanted to explain that. That was a really common question we got when we showed that video. Another question people had was on birds of prey and whether they're a risk to the free-roaming mink in our open sanctuary. So I've never run into a problem with a bird of prey yet. However, they are a risk. Large birds of prey like red-tailed hawks or especially great horned owls could potentially take a mink. I'm a previous falconer. I have a lot of experience with birds of prey. I understand the power of a bird of prey. Here's the thing though, any mink that's going to be free roaming is going to be free roaming with a dog. So the chance of a bird of prey attacking a prey right next to a big predator is very slim. And if the hawk is bold enough to do so, it's probably going to be dead. The dog's not going to just sit there watching a hawk kill the mink and do nothing. Even if he's not trying to protect the mink, his prey instinct's going to kick in. He's going to at least harass, if not kill the hawk. So if they grab a mink, that dog is going to have plenty of time to run out and spook or possibly even kill the bird of prey. I would highly doubt they're not going to be killed. A hawk's not stupid enough to sit there and let a coyote walk up and kill him. Why would they let a dog, you know? So I of course, I like birds of prey. I don't want them to be injured or hurt by my animals. But the reality is if they come down and they're not smart enough to let go of the mink and fly off, the dogs are going to kill them. So I'm not concerned with that. Is it possible? Sure. If it becomes a problem, will I fix it? Yes. But for now, I'm going to give it a go. I don't foresee it being a problem, but if I'm wrong, I'll of course adjust my methods of doing things and make sure my mink are as safe as possible. So anyway, just wanted to address those questions and answer them for you. Appreciate you guys watching, appreciate your interest, and we'll talk to you later.